Let's talk about the United States now. The land of the free is once again engulfed in turmoil. Protests have resurfaced in many parts of the country, but the flashpoint is the city of Portland. It turns out the protests over police brutality never died down in Portland. The city has been rocked by protests for 56 consecutive nights. And now the demonstrations are turning violent. On your screen are the latest images. Security forces are tear gassing and clubbing demonstrators. Standing toe-to-toe with the protesters is the mayor of Portland, Mr. Ted Wheeler. He's a Democrat. He has been conducting regular listening sessions for these protesters. Today, he was tear-gassed along with them. The mayor could be seen coughing as tear gas surrounded the area. And despite all of this, he couldn't really win the support of these protesters. For them, Mr. Mayor was only there for the cameras. A clear indication of how the protests are not politically motivated.
Ted Wheeler is a wealthy, privileged man. He comes from a very wealthy family. He has no idea what it is like. We're out here with houseless people. We're out here with houseless communities, with Black, Indigenous communities, with people of color who for way too long have not had a voice. They haven't had a voice in their government.
The American media is calling the pushback by security forces a federal crackdown because these security officials are federal agents. They're housed at the Justice Center in Portland, and they're showing no signs of retreating. They're stepping out of the building at regular intervals and tossing smoke bombs and tear gas shells at the protesters. Their deployment has triggered a national debate over civil liberties, but Donald Trump is in no mood to concede. He's calling the protests an anti-police crusade. And he's justifying his decision by accusing, quote-unquote, extreme politicians of fanning the flames. Take a look.
Extreme politicians have joined this anti-police crusade and relentlessly vilified our law enforcement heroes. To look at it from any standpoint, the effort to shut down policing in their own communities has led to a shocking explosion of shootings, killings, murders, and heinous crimes of violence. This bloodshed must end. This bloodshed will end.
The U.S. president wants to end the bloodshed, and he's come up with a plan. It's called Operation Legend. We expect nothing less from President Trump. Everything he does is legendary. In this program, he wants to send federal agents to tackle violence in any city that witnesses the slightest of protest in the coming days. Listen to this announcement that he made.
Today, I'm announcing a surge of federal law enforcement into American communities plagued by violent crime. We'll work every single day to restore public safety, protect our nation's children, and bring violent perpetrators to justice. We've been doing it, and you've been seeing what's happening all around the country. We've just started this process, and frankly, we have no choice but to get involved. Every American, no matter their income, their race, or their zip code, should be able to walk their city streets free from violence and free from fear. For this reason, today, I am announcing that the Department of Justice will immediately surge federal law enforcement to the city of Chicago. The FBI, ATF, DEA, U.S. Marshal Service, and Homeland Security will together be sending hundreds of skilled law enforcement officers to Chicago to help drive down violent crime.
Now, let me elaborate on the so-called Operation Legend. Under this program, federal law enforcement agents, that is officials from the FBI, U.S. Marshal Service, and other law enforcement agencies will assist local police in combating what Donald Trump has described as a surge in violent crime. This is what the White House has been doing for a while now, focusing only on incidents of crime and not on the cause of the protests. For Donald Trump, every single protester is either a criminal, a political tool, a left radical, or a terrorist. But when it comes to racial discrimination and police brutality, he deflects all the questions. He followed the same strategy every time he was asked about his pandemic response. But now Donald Trump has had a change of heart, at least as far as the pandemic is concerned. The coronavirus is no longer just a flu for the U.S. president. He is taking it quite seriously now, and he carries a mask as proof wherever he goes. You have to watch this.
I carry the mask when I have to go. I went into Walter Reed Hospital the other day. I have the mask right here, and I carry it, and I will use it gladly. No problem with it. And I've said that, and I say, if you can, use the mask. When you can, use the mask. If you're close to each other, if you're in a group, I would put it on when I'm in a group. If I'm in an elevator and there are other people with me, including like security people, it's not their fault. They have to be in the elevator. I want to protect them also.
Wear it at the hospital, wear it when you're in a group, wear it in the elevator, wear it when there are people around. It took him 6 months to say that. Well, better late than never.